I thought we could kick off this week with our P&Ps.
Oh, change
Protect and preserve.
Little change up.
Do you know what, actually, how funny was this? Remember the other week, someone that you know messaged us to say that her partner, but they were talking about something, and the partner went T&T, and she was like, what do you mean? And then he realised he meant P&P.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, it's good. That's what the purpose of it is, to people, the listeners, to use it in their everyday lives to enhance their relationships. Didn't set out for that. It was just our way of
look at us
saying you're really fucking me off, but I'm okay.
I love you. This is my boundaries. Do you want to start off? Go on. Give us your P&P for the week for me.
Go on.
Can't imagine there's any, to be honest, but let's go for it.
Because you're perfect, aren't you? Absolutely. Well, not so perfect. My P&P this week is... You ready? is when we're on the back of the scooter. When you're on the back of the scooter, it's like you don't have a worry in the world. Everything's hunky-dory and the sun is shining. You're on your phone, you're cruising around, snapping yourself. Meanwhile, I'm on the front, slug at the front line, trying to keep the scooter on the road, dodging potholes. I'm sweating. It's so hot, obviously, all the time here. It just pisses me off. You just don't listen. Well, there's two parts to this. One is before we even get on, we're approaching the scooter, and Sydney, just like she's some sort of Kardashian, is like, get me spares out, please. She's on her phone, not even looking at me, not even addressing me, just stands and waits and is like she's a real busy businesswoman, just like, it's the pegs for her feet to go on. She calls them spears, which is...
Silver spears.
Silver spears.
I don't go, get me spears out.
You almost click them. You almost click your fingers. It's kind of like what you do. You're like, spears out, let's go, hurry up, chop, chop. And I've said a couple of times, do you not have fucking hands? Like, can you get them out?
Well, when I sit on the back of the moped, I can't then reach down because the balance goes off.
Yeah, but before you put your legs on, sweets, can you just not use your hands?
I don't want to touch it.
Yes, the bottom line is you don't want to touch them, and you think it's a blue job.
I think you're great at it, and I think you should keep going.
There you go again. You do that thing that you just try and pump me up, so I do the shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But you get the spares out, and then I get the spares out, I put them out, you hop on, and then it's I've told you about it. Is just your centre of gravity awareness is quite deplorable. One minor shift to the left or to the right can really change what's going on up the front of the bike, and you're switching hands with your phone, texting and calling people, and like I'm about to approaching, say, a pothole, and I've got to try and like scoot around it, and you just like you just lean, like you're just leaning, and it's hard. It's hard, Yakka, but look, hey, I'm picking up the body language. I've said my P&P. Let's not harp on it too much.
I would just like to say, I can't see much from the back other than the back of your scalp.
Oh.
Or your helmet that we keep headbutting each other on a journey because you break, I don't know, and then my helmet smacks off the back of your...
Again, no scooter awareness. Scooter awareness, poor. And funny fact, I went to go get some groceries, and a guy pulled up. Turns out he was Finnish, actually. Been living in from Finland.
Never. Thank you for that.
And he was on like a really, really fancy scooter, and all the locals were all like, gawking at it. Like, and I sort of naturally fired up a conversation with him, like, oh man, how much that cost? He's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was telling him, he said it's really good for dinking people, because when I got my missus on the back, we cruise with her, and I'm like, oh, does it take out that, like, when they move, they move and they're texting, and I try and tell my missus, and I was telling him this, and he just the smile started building, like he absolutely understood. He's like, mate, I get it. He's like, yeah, he's laughing like, yeah, mate, it does. He goes, it doesn't matter how many times you tell him to like, please help, what you do translates to the front of the driving. But he had such a big scooter that he's like, mate, it takes that out of it. So next time we come, we're going to hire a really, really...
Well, I don't know if we should, because I tried to ride it and it fell on top of me and I skidded it all and it's brand new, so that's not great.
We made sure we got a brand new one and you've scratched it, so we're not looking forward to handing back the scooter, are we?
No,
and it's coming off your card, not ours. But that's mine, and P&P. Love it.
Well, I mean, I'll take it on board.
What's yours, sweet? I can't imagine that you'd have...
Are you just saying the same as me? Are we now just talking the same as each other? Are you going to say that you're so perfect? I've got several, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Where do I start? That's what I've got to say. Where do I start with you? So, in front of me, I can see some lovely curtains over there. What do you sometimes like to do? He has got this weird thing.
What I do, I open and close them every morning and night for us.
I opened them this morning. You went out when I was still asleep. I opened them this morning.
Okay.
Don't even start. Let me talk about my P&P. All right?
Go, please.
I didn't interrupt you. Okay. He's got this thing about textures. He goes up to the curtain and put the folds of the curtain in between his fingers and rubs them up and down. And the other day I was going, can we go, sweets? And he's just like, you love, like, we have these candles back home with little mini batteries, like, remotes, and he sleeps with the fucking remote, and he just,
I do.
He twizzles it, and he loves it.
In the crevice of my hand, I'm very sensory. I love textures, I'm very sensory, and the curtains are just the perfect, like, curve, and you can just dive your fingers in there and just dive them in and go down. And it's like,
when it's holding up my dinner, I can't be asked to wait for you. But P&P, because I know you like it.
What about in bed though? When I like to hold on to because the remote, for context, has a really nice sharp edge.
Yeah.
And it's the right thickness and it's small, so I can hold it and I can fall. It's like it is a comfort thing. Like,
you need to get a little teddy.
That's fucking weird. No,
and then I wake up and it's wedged in between us or in between our pillows, and I'm like, you're like, where's the remote? And I'm like, I don't know. You've been hooking it to bed.
It's so funny you brought up the candle remote.
You love it. And then we've got these, like, so I bought one of those Stanley cups to put my coffee in, and he's got one. You've got a Yeti one, and he goes, no, but I really like the plastic and the cardboard on the cup, and he just sits there.
That's
ding,
right.
Ding, 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 playing with it, flicking it.
Also unreal is plastic lids on coffee cups.
You love it. It's so bad for the environment, though.
You can just... Credit cards? Credit cards, not one. I could sit there and flick the credit card. I've got this certain flick with the credit card. The sharp, rough edges. Anything that's been clean cut.
Well, P&P.
Oh, don't get me going.
Anyway, how have our weeks been? How's your week been?
How's our weeks been? Been unreal. We've fitted in heaps. Done a reasonable amount of work for our working holiday week. It's been good.
Oh, I had a bit of an incident though, didn't I, last week?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Which then followed on to another incident.
It was just a cascade of incidents.
It was a domino effect. You start.
Okay, and you finish.
I'll finish, but I'll chime. Yeah.
So we were going. We were
about to head out.
Friends, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were going to Canggu, and we were walking downstairs, and he's carrying on like a pork chop, as he says, like messing about. And I'm laughing.
You were really listening. You were laughing. I was looking at you dead in the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was proper listening, and I was like laughing and really
about to get on the scooter.
Yeah. And he gets the scooter and he keeps talking to me, and I just fall, and he's keep talking to me straight on. He's like, "Where have you gone?"
It was unbelievable. One split second, I'm talking to her, like making her laugh. I'm like, oh, she's laughing heaps here. This is cool. Like, I'll keep going as we're like getting ready to get on the scooter. And I'm looking eye level with you, and then you weren't there. Oh, you like a magic trick. You vanished. You had taken a little step back to help to just before you got on the scooter, and you put your foot down a drain, and you went right down into the drain with one whole leg right up to your ass crack.
The drain size was honestly the size of a banana. I don't know how my foot fit through there.
Where did you use that as a fucking?
Well, I was trying to think of something that thick. We'll put a photo up, and I just went bang, and I just bought me Havaianas, so I was holding on for dear life. My claws of toes were hanging on down the drain.
You were. So she's gone right down. For a second there, I thought we'd lost you to the Indonesian sewer system. I was like. And I got so angry after it about like, what is this construct? What is this hole? Why is this?
You were crying?
I didn't cry.
You had wet eyes, you said? I felt really teary. I just love you so much.
That was a thing after. Like, be able to bring that up. Makes me sound soft. Anyway, thought we'd lost you. And then so it was it was just two pavers not covering a hole. So picture two smallish sized pavers were not covering a really deep hole. Hole would have been about 1.5 meters deep.
Oh, easy.
And so with your whole leg down there, you got about 1 meter's worth of leg per leg. then there was still another half-metre drop, so that if you let go of your toe, your heavy, which was hanging on by a couple of toes, because I looked down there and there was full of black, shitty gunk.
Oh,
it was a fucking drain. Like it was a sewage. Like anyway. And I could see your black covered heavy, your brand new silver heavy just hanging on, and you were like, me heavy. That's all you said. Meanwhile, I could see some blood starting to form underneath your ass cheek hip area.
Could you?
Yeah, like I'm like, and I didn't know the damage to the toe. Like, is there a nail missing? Like, all sorts could have happened. But anyway, your main goal was to get this fucking heavy. And so I have got down on my chest onto the pavers and put my arm deep all the way down to grab the heavy.
And my foot. Not just the heavy. You weren't like, I'm going to get
help you get your foot out. And I got black. We got gunk all over my hand getting this heavy arm out. We rinsed it off quickly.
With a hose from the garden.
With a hose from the garden that the lovely housekeeping let us do that. And then off we went.
We were in a rush, weren't we?
We were in a real rush, so we didn't come up and sanitise and all that sort of stuff. So do you want to take over from here? We got up there, had our lunch and our dinner with our friends. We had a lunch. We went straight out, got up there. We went out for lunch and just a couple of drinks. Went back home, got changed. So I'm just giving you a time frame here because disaster, absolute struggle street was upon us. We got to dinner.
Went to Numero Quattro, didn't we? Which is like a really nice Italian. The food there in Canggu at Numero Quattro is unbelievable. Numero Quattro is unbelievable. Anyway,
I wish I could have enjoyed it a bit more.
Did you not?
When we sat down at entree, I knew it tasted awesome, but halfway through the main, I went, guys, I'm getting a fucking balloon knot in my belly. Just felt like someone was just slowly pumping it up. I was going down with barley belly. And no, not that. It was was it just barley belly or was it like something more sinister?
Well, we don't know whether it was from the pina colada because we all shared our food. The whole of us, all four of us, shared our food for the whole of the day. But you had your hand down a drain and you hadn't washed it with soap, so that could have been something that got you.
Spent an hour and 20 on the bike, touching my face and driving and wiping my eyes, from the dust.
It could have been the pina colada that you had because none of us
I'm putting it down to the shitty pooey drain. So,
well, you weren't unwell for that lot. I mean, honestly, it was like man down at dinner, and I was like, you'll be fine. So we got him some buscapan, some gavies, everything possible to sort him out.
Charcoal chicken. We got some charcoal tablets. Oh, the whole shoot and kabang. But it wasn't enough. I tried to press. I tried to have another couple of bin tanks. I said, guys, we've got to go home. So we retired.
You had you had a peppermint tea. You didn't have a couple of binnies, you liar.
Well, I know.
He's like, yeah, no, I pushed through. I got through another 2 cans.
That's me trying to sound tough to the listeners, but really I had a peppermint tea to try and settle
the gut. You couldn't even get that down?
And that was just... so we got home and I had the worst night. My Oura ring told me I literally had 0 REM sleep, 0 deep sleep, and it was all like... I've never seen the app like that. Woke up, it was red and orange. Major signs, fatigue, something's wrong. I'm like...
Never.
I fucking know.
I know about it because all night you were going... Oh.
So it was a 24-hour. Thank God, it only lasted 24 hours. But that whole night, no sleep, power spewing. I've never, deep from within my gut, hurled so hard. I did, and I think I counted them. It was north of 10.
Why are you counting them, you little weirdo? And in the middle of the night, you also were like this, babe, I'm so thirsty. Have you got any water?
Yeah, because... we were staying at our friend's place, and the way the villa set up was that they had a communal area, but that was locked, and I knew that was where the water was, so I only had the amount of water that I had. Bit of a disaster.
But it is what it is. You were better. We went and stayed in a gorgeous hotel resort that night. You didn't really eat much.
So we went... we need to go somewhere to get pampered. We went to our favourite hotel on the water in hotel resort, and just booked one night. Extortionate. Last minute, Saturday night.
$700.
$700. I think it was a bit more, was it?
No, it was 800.
700 Scooby-Doos, sweetheart. But well needed. We loved it.
We did, and I really appreciate that. It was so kind of you to book that. Thanks for getting that. That was really lovely. I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was also me being a beneficiary of that, which we needed it. We both loved it.
Oh God!
But yeah, so we had you, nearly losing you to the sewerways.
I feel like you told us a story.
On the back of that, I had a story to tell. So Bali's dangerous, right? So this is the general consensus.
For what purpose?
Just everything. The water. You got to be so careful. It makes you think, how do you bring kids here and make sure that they're safe if you holiday here for 2 weeks or whatever. But
I know.
had this...
we met people. Remember, we met a couple at Lilla, and they said with our kids when they were younger, we used to put them in they would buy them like one of those mini blow up pools, and they would fill it with gallons of bottled water.
That's right, to have the baths in it.
To have their baths in it. It was cold, but it was hot outside anyway. Because like they crawl, and if you touch the ground,
I know.
Yeah.
And you can't keep your eye on them all the time.
No.
But it's a dangerous place. And I was just going to quickly tell this story of one of my friends, Tom. It was about, 5 years ago. On the scooter, scooter is so dangerous. He rocked up late. We're at a beach club and we're all we're already drinking. He was adamant he wanted to get this scooter. I need my scooter. I'm like, mate, just get it tomorrow. He goes and gets the scooter. So that night, he's driving home and he's well intoxicated. And he's crashed into a Balinese local.
That's ridiculous. What an idiot.
So accidentally, it's obviously an accident, but he's crashed into him. But what he's done is he's probably not dealt with it the right way and tried to get up and just scoot off and flee the scene. And then the locals noticed that and grabbed him and tied him, handcuffed him to a pole in the street. Handcuffed him to a pole in the street whilst they waited for the...
they don't have handcuffs. Surely it was rope.
It was a zip tie. Zip tie, some rope. I love how you want to know that. Who cares? Some sort of apparatus.
No, it's the best.
Some sort of apparatus to tie him to a fucking pole.
Yeah, but I can't imagine in the third world country they've got handcuffs in the back of their pocket and they're like, come on, let's handcuff you.
Do you want to know if it was a pole, a bike rack, or a fire hydrant?
Yeah, it really gets the visual.
I think it was a fire hydrant. So he's tied to this fire hydrant until the police come. Police come and lock him up. I've never heard of this. They've locked him up and he spent the night in a jail cell. But because he'd been drinking so much, he needed to have a piss. And because he'd already upset the locals, he's locked in this dark room, no toilet, and he needed to go to the toilet, I think to do ones and twos. And so he's banging on the wall going, please, I need to go, please let me out. No one's answering the door. So he's gone and did his job in the rubbish bin.
Bushwee.
Did a bushwee in the bin. And they finally let him out. He's like, mate, I'm so sorry about that. Like, that was a disaster. You didn't let me out. So anyway, that's not a good story.
But didn't he keep going? Didn't he keep driving around the rest of his holiday and all the Balinese locals were like, there's that man pointing at him? Yeah,
there was that bit of a weird thing about it. I don't know how that... Because there's Facebook expats or everyone... It's like he had a mugshot. It was like he had a warrant out for his arrest and all the locals, every time they saw him, they'd be like pointing. Like he'd be on the back of my scooter sometimes. It was like for the 5 days after. We're like... We felt like a Kardashian. We felt like an important person, but people were just looking at us like scouring.
That's the thing out here. It's rogue. Like, you can't drink and drive. Like, why is that appropriate?
It's not. You shouldn't do it. Bad. Absolutely not. Maybe if you go and
kill them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nearly, I got another. Can I tell a quick story about one of my best friends, Bo, who nearly killed himself doing exactly the same thing. Now, this was when we were real early days going to Bali. This is when we used to stay in Kuta. So when, I'm talking when we were like 18, 19, went out, got really super drunk, and you're not going to like this story. And all you're going to do is just shake your head and go, well, you boys deserved that. And
you're idiots. You're all idiots.
We're all going home. The three of us made it home. One of us didn't. One of us was going that fast down Kuta main beach. He ran up, an Indonesian pulled out in front of him, ran up the arse of him, knocked him off. Thank God the dude was okay. But Scully didn't. He had a helmet on. His helmet flung off, and he whacked his eye and his head so hard. An ambulance brushed him straight to the BMCI hospital, which is the best hospital. They took him directly to that one because his injury was so bad. He banged his head so hard he cracked his skull, his eye socket above his eye.
Oh.
And they nearly operated that. We're none the wiser. We are absolutely mortal drunk at home in bed trying to just sleeping, and he's in the hospital, nearly about to go in for surgery. We didn't know this.
So stupid.
And so our phone kept ringing, like bing, our hotel room just kept ringing and ringing. I'm like, who the hell? Why is the lobby ringing us?
Yeah.
You need to go to the hospital. Your friend Bo Scullin, has been in an accident. We're like, holy shit! So I think we scooted. I would like to think that we took a taxi because we woke up, we were still blind. I think we scooted blind to the hospital to see him. But the good news was he didn't have to have eye surgery, but he needed to fly home because of all of his arms and all of his legs had skin off it. We had to look after him for about 3 or 4 days, and he had to stay inside until he could fly. They said he was unfit for flight for like 4 days. Disaster story.
Men just don't have the frontal cortex. Their brain is just not developed. Like, what are you all doing?
Just dumb.
So dumb. God, Christ. If we have
dangerous
boys,
place,
God
but-
help us, honestly.
Oh, I know. God help us.
I was asking last week, because we've tried to mix things up each episode. Like, I asked for feedback. Some people said they don't like the ADHD stuff. Lots of people said they want more ADHD stuff because they're finding out so much information about it might help them with their friends and family. So, yeah, we've taken out the segment of, I'm so ADHD. But I was asking some other things, and lots of people, they're just nosy, just like I am. I love to know the ins and outs of people's lives. So
Interested. Nosy sounds a bit harsh, but...
sorry, interested. I'm really nosy.
You are a nosy little...
Parker.
Naughty little girl.
And people were asking us about our childhoods and stuff. So I thought that we could maybe take them back a bit. Because I guess, so last night, which was really lovely, we had a bit of a chat about our upbringings a little bit, didn't we?
We did.
And we don't often talk about stuff like that because I think you struggle a little bit with your emotions. But I am quite good at being quite open all the time.
With my vulnerability.
Vulnerability, yeah. I think that's just normal for a lot of men.
Yeah.
I think that's just quite normal. But I also think it's like, I don't know, what
do.
you used to.
I think if you ask most men and you ask me now, I would say, yeah. I think we all have as you said, we all have the ability to do it. Because I took it as a bit of a negative. You're like, you can't be vulnerable. I'm like, fuck you.
I didn't say you can't be. That's harsh. I just said
I'll show you vulnerable. Let's go deep. Let's go real deep.
But you automatically make a joke out of it. So you must feel uncomfortable.
I'm getting uncomfortable right now.
Are you?
Yes.
I said to him, kiss me passionately. So he grabs my head and he's like that. And I'm like, you just ruined it.
Sort of a separate topic, but see where you're going with that.
You just always make a joke out of everything, you daft bugger.
And then I said, you do that. You are the exact same as me.
I am. This is why we need to not be, because we both just take the piss all the time.
Because soon we're just going to become friends. No. If we, the shock. I'm just saying we're gonna keep it up.
Yeah, we're going for a lovely date night tonight. We'll talk about that next week, should we?
Next week.
Come on then, tell me about your upbringing, because yours is so different to mine. Not only did you live on a farm in the middle of nowhere, you had 3 siblings, 2 parents, and you lived and went to boarding school.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's I guess being brought up on the farm.
Farm. On the farm.
Everything we did was outdoors. That's the biggest part that I love about our childhood. Everything we did was just nothing but dirt, water, outside, motorbike riding.
Boys love that.
Yeah, and even as a young Carly, I've got a sister, and she would come and join in. Motorbike riding was a really, really big thing. So when we were young, you start off with Pee-wee 50s, little bikes. And thinking back on it now, when I was trying to jot down some pointers here. Again, danger. When I'd be a parent, I'm like, I wouldn't let... But the stuff that I'm about to say is all of it's really quite dangerous. I'm assuming mum, dad was always out working, but I'm assuming mum, when we said, we're just going out to the neighbour's place to do something, we probably didn't tell her everything that we were going to do.
Of course.
Motorbike riding, we would, build huge jumps, and we would try and see how high we could get this tiny motorbike up in the air. So we're building our own jumps and doing all that stuff, trying to be cool, I suppose. But yeah, everything was outdoors, and I love it. I always talk so positively about my upbringing. But one of the things I think people will find funny is as a hobby or a thing that we did was we called it bird nesting.
What's that?
What is that, you ask? It's our neighbours, our friends, all the country kids. We would catch up on our little motorbikes. So
how old are you? On a motorbike?
Yeah, 10, 12.
That's wild.
They're little ones.
Still? Like a dirt bike?
So our neighbours are very far away. So as you know, you've been to the farm. So our local town is 40 kilometres away. So it takes you, 40k from any close town. And neighbours are kilometres that way. They could be 5k, 10k. A couple of our best mates were 10k away, 8k up the road. So you can't just walk there.
No.
And if your parents don't take you there, you got to drive we call it a paddock basher, a little car. Driving cars around, unlicensed, and only on a little bit on a main road, mainly on dirt roads. In the country, if you take the back roads and the dirt roads,
doesn't count.
That's why they always say country kids die on country roads, is because that's what happens. But anyway, we would take our little motorbikes and stuff, and we'd go bird nesting. And bird nesting was this big thing where we would collect eggs out of actual bird nests that are up in trees. So we would all cruise around, a little bike gang. We'd all be on a little Pee-wee 50s and 80s, and we would cruise along the back roads, the dirt roads, between our farms, looking up in the trees, just putting, going slowly until we saw a nest, and we'd all pull over, and we would say a magpie nest. A magpie is a very common bird species. So we would climb all the way up these massive trees.
That's terrifying.
Obviously no harnesses. We're just in T-shirts and thongs and hop over, kick out our stands, and up we go up these massive trees.
Can we just say to the British listeners, you haven't got a pair of thongs on your arse. They're thongs on your toes.
Thongs on your feet.
They're flip-flops. He's not going up in thongs and his bollocks hanging either side.
And so we would climb up these massive trees, and we would go and search around, and we would then and you'd grab the egg, and the only way to climb down.
Yeah.
Going up's easy.
Yeah.
Going up is easy.
Yeah.
Coming down
hard,
very hard,
like a koala,
and you're carrying an egg. So we would collect all these eggs, and we would save them all. So we would have different species. So you had a wedge-tailed eagle, a magpie, a swallow. And we'd keep them in little, like everyday egg cartons that we buy from the supermarket. We would keep the egg cartons, and we put little cotton balls in all the little holes, and we would pinprick each of the hole and blow the yolk out and keep just the shell, keep the egg, and we'd keep like an assortment. Like we're collectors. We collect them.
But you killed them.
And technically we took one from the nest. Yes.
That's really naughty.
It's so funny.
Naughty.
City slicker say that. Like that to us. That's just like that's the least of the naughty stuff that we did on the farm. Like
that takes me to
the shit we used to shoot.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. Let's not
know
talk
about
that. No, I'm not about that.
When we go hunting, this is not really hunting. This is just something that we sort of did. So, but the part you'll laugh at this is going down. You need both hands to go up, but you definitely need all limbs to go down the tree. So where does the egg go?
In your mouth.
In your mouth. Sometimes we'll have a little bit of shit on it. You just dust it off or spit it. You'd hot poo on it. And then you'd rub off the shit, and then you'd plop it in your mouth. And depending on what nest you went up and climbed up for, like if it was a wedge-tailed eagle, people can Google what a
massive.
They are the biggest freaking bird. And to get a wedgie, and the nest was the nests. Depending on the size of the bird, was the ability of to carry the stick or whatever for the nest. Wedge-tailed eagles would have like really thick sticks, and they'd build this massive nest. And the egg was huge, so you could barely fit it in your mouth. So you just have to. So you'd be climbing down like this.
He looks. He looks like one of those birds waiting to be fed with their mouth open, waiting for their mum to feed them.
It was that was pretty fun.
That has just sparked a memory for me. When I used to hang out with one of my friends called Hannah, we used to go for conkers. Do you know what conkers are?
No.
What?
No.
You know conkers that you do conkering with? They're like wooden, like nuts. Concrete. No. So they're basically like, they're basically things that are in trees.
Yeah.
And they have like a big, they're spiky, and you have to cut into them, a bit like a walnut or whatever. And there's like a conker inside, like a nut. Oh. And we used to do conker games where you put string and you'd hit it off until yours broke.
Oh, like a piñata.
Yeah, a bit like that, but you'd both have it on a string each, and we would both be bashing each other's conker until it broke. Oh. You would quite like that probably when you were a kid.
Sounds awesome.
Anyway, so in the autumn we would go out and go conker throwing. So you had to throw. Sometimes if the conkers weren't ready, they wouldn't be on the floor. So me and Hannah used to go and get conkers, and I used to have this scooter, you know, those silver ones that you hang with your foot, and it had like a brake on the back wheel.
Kick scooter, yeah.
Yeah, and me and her went conker throwing, and we went to the church that she used to go to. And I was like, yeah, there's a massive log. I'll just throw it up. And I was throwing it, and it went through someone's window, car window, the back of the window, smashed.
How old were you?
Oh, I was like 11.
Oh, I'd love to see you, two little 11-year-olds.
We just went
the window. I know.
And then we scooted off, and we thought the police were going to come to us forever. And then
forever.
her family went to the church, and they were saying someone smashed the back of our things, and I felt so naughty and so bad. I don't think I've ever told my mum that. She'll be shooketh. She'll be shocked.
Oh, Juliet. Yeah.
She'll be shocked.
She'll be shook when she hears this.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Terrible.
That's funny.
So naughty. I've got another story as well about my scooter. Mum and I went on. Mum was like, "Come on, let's go to the park and let's go on the scooter together." So my mum got on the back, and I was on the front, and we're
on a tiny scooter.
Yeah, like 1 foot each, like half a foot each.
You're a tiny little 11-year-oldish.
I don't know. I always say I'm 14.
She's a fully grown woman, and
I'd hope.
And you're fitted on one tiny scooter.
Well, we're not sitting on it. We're just standing on it, and so we're both going for it.
foot area.
Let me speak.
Okay.
We're both going for it. And we hit the curb and we were like, no, it's fine, we'll fly. So we thought we might go like that. And like when you go over a thick curb and land, but we didn't. Yeah. It just went dink and tilted.
Oh no, did you face plant?
And I face planted. My mum fell on top of me. I was like a little.
Brought me a little pillow.
I was like a little ant that had been squashed. My arms and legs were out, and we just went. And my face was on the gravel. It just went. And she got up and she went, oh dear, oh dear, oh darling. And I was like, darling, that really, really hurt. She was like, we best not do that again.
Yeah, you best not do that again.
I feel like, though, even though you lived on a farm and you went out and about, I lived next to a park and next to a school and I lived in a nice area. So I used to still go out and stuff. Like, we would go out and play on the streets, but I feel like you don't really do that unless you live in a cul-de-sac. Do you know what a cul-de-sac is?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Unless you live in like a cul-de-sac, it's not really safe for kids to go out now. My mum would say, be home for 6:30. We always used to eat at 6:30. Be home for 6:30. Or when it gets dark or whatever, if it was winter. And I didn't mind that. I loved being at home. I was such a home bird. I never really went out on the streets. It just wasn't for me.
But you were still able to go out and do stuff.
Yeah, I was still able to go out and do stuff, but I just was...
So funny saying that. Like, because we live, our farm is about half an hour out of town. It would take us an hour and a half on the bus to get into school. Hour and a half. 3 hours a day on a bus.
I couldn't.
Oh, and on summer hot days, when it's hot in the Mallee, it's hot. Anyway,
no AC.
So there was a big thing you're either a townie when you were kids. You're a townie. You're a kid that lived in town.
Yeah.
Not the city, but the town. Not the city, but you're a townie.
Yeah.
Not a city slicker, but they're still a townie. And there was this thing, like there was the country kids versus the townies. And I think who wins in the end of the day are obviously the country kids, because I was just thinking about this one last the funnest thing we used to do on the farm, that the townies, like if you lived in town, you just didn't have the asset in front of you. You didn't have the ability to do it. We had, back in the day, to transport water around the farms and fill it each year, one time a year, I think it's 2 times a year it used to be, you'd fill a dam. So each farmhouse had a dam of water, which was not our drinking water, but it was used for gardens. It would fill some of our tanks, and then you have to filter the water so you can use it for drinking and tap water and shower. So everyone gets one dam at their house, and the way to get the water there was they'd open the big dam, like a big dam, and the way to get it there was via channels. So a channel is just a stream. Yeah. Now they've piped it. The big pipeline in Victoria, it all got done about 10 years ago or something. So now
it's wild. Only 10 years ago,
the age-old childhood funnest thing in the world, channel surfing, that the country kids of today cannot do. But we used to get a big long piece of string, a boogie board, just a plain old little boogie board. And behind the four-wheeler, we would tie a string and we would go up and down the channel when it was running, because it only ran once or twice a year, and it was during summer.
That's fun.
We would go it's so dangerous. You've got half a metre to your right is just all like thistles and burrs and dirt, and on the other side you've got half a metre of water each side, and we would just tear down these channels.
How would you move on the string?
With a handle. So you're skiing. So you're kneeboarding on the boogie board, and then my brother or my sister would just go, you ready? And we go, I'll go, yeah, go! And we would just go, just burnt for like a kilometre straight, and we would just be like just...
That is wild.
Like, it's so dangerous. Like, we fall off and you hit your head on the dirt, like you're dead.
That's
I've got plenty of
mental,
stories
isn't it?
Like,
I love that, though.
And so, like, townies, the town kids just didn't have the ability to do that, but we did. All that fun stuff just brings me, what's the word? Nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Oh, man, it makes me warm inside.
When you were talking about it, I was thinking about Holly and Dale and their kids, and I was like, they just walk around naked all the time with their gumboots on, and they're just hanging off gates, and it's just falling off, and like Mills keeps throwing Teddy off the top of a hill and going, see ya!
See ya!
It's mental.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like that makes you into like tough kids. Like a lot of city kids are like,
I reckon as well.
I get dropped off at school every day and picked up every day and never get the bus, and they're like so reliant on their parents all of the time.
Yeah.
See, my mum was like, I remember I had a dolly shoe on, and I remember standing in dog poo, and I couldn't get the dog poo out because it was so thick. I was probably chatting shit to my friend and I just didn't notice. And I stood in the dog poo and I rang Mum and I was like, Mum, please go and pick me up. She was like, get your shoe out the bin and walk home. And I was like, okay, squelch, squelch, squelch. It was horrible. But my mum would just always just be like, crack on. And I feel like it's good. I feel like
that's why you've turned out good. It was good parenting.
Yeah, I feel like she didn't have capacity to come pick me up because she was like, I'm just so tired. I've got shit to do. Like, I've got to cook dinner. Like, we used to have lodgers, so she had to cook dinner, and she'd been at work all day and she was really busy. And I was just like, please, just one time, just pick me up. Please, please. No.
Just one time, pick me up.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. And now I'm like, actually, it's probably a good thing because I'm very able, you know, to do stuff by myself. Although I do like doing things with someone else. It just makes it a little bit more enjoyable. One of the things that I'd written down about my childhood is like so vivid is when, because my mum was basically bringing me up by herself. My dad lives in Germany. We moved back over when I was 1 because my mum moved to Germany and had me in Germany. Moved back over when I was 1, and then my mum met my stepdad when I was young, and then they were together for like 6, 7, 8 years or something. So he was like in our lives, and then he wasn't. They broke up, and then it was just me and mum. And mum had like a really she had a house that she couldn't afford, but in an area that I could go to a good school. So she didn't want to take me out. So then she was like, okay, we're going to get lodgers. And I was like, what does that mean? So when I was about 12, we used to just have strangers in our house.
Yeah.
That's
wild. Like, I obviously know that story, but I wanted to ask you a question as to like, why would your mum want to have the lodgers, but you just explained it.
Yeah.
Because there was a good school in the area. Didn't want to upset the apple cart and keep you going there. That's so lovely. So,
I know.
But
so I had straight.
Was it scary?
No,
I don't think you talk about it as like scary, but I just start going to like, you know, horror movies where there's, you know, man in the house and
paedophile.
Yeah, I don't
but
want to
like
say that.
Thinking about this, like if you think about you going to your friends in the middle of nowhere or having people stay over, loads of people nowadays, like my friend Chloe won't have her child stay at anyone's house and he's like 6. But we used to stay in each other's bedrooms with boys and girls, like your friends' kids, and it just was so the norm. But I think now, because it's everywhere about paedophilia and you never know who's going to be doing it, people are terrified. But I used to have, so we would have men and women staying in our house. We had 2 spare rooms.
Yeah.
So for like 6 years of my teens, my mum was knackered because she was always cooking for everyone because she had to cook dinner for them every night. I had to sit across the table at the age of 14 and talking to people who were from Italy or, you know, Spain. And I'd be like, I can't be asked to have this conversation with you about where you're from. I just want to fucking eat my dinner and go and chat to my friends on MSN. You know what I'm saying? I want to send some love hearts on Bebo and I want to get me dial-up internet, play a bit of Space Raiders and fucking chat to my friends on MSN. And there was this hilarious time where B, my friend, came round and there was 2, I can see it vividly, in our dining room. Mum's always head of the table. She always has her spot on the table and I have my spot. And my friend was sitting next to me and we had a guy and someone else and we were all talking and eating and my mum had done like bread and ham and cheeses and quiche and stuff. Anyway, me and my friend, we must have been about 13 or something. And I remember we had like butter and this guy we were watching in me and B and he got a big massive scoop of butter and it was, I kid you not, it was like a lump of fucking lard on his bread and he bit into it and you could see the teeth marks in the butter.
I feel like I'm there.
Me and B were just crying and because his face went, oh, because he thought it was cheese. So me and B were absolutely crying. My mum's like, girls, empty the dishwasher. Go and empty the dishwasher. Take your plates away. And it was just so funny. And there's so many stories like that.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, so we used to have I was on the landing and we used to have a separate toilet to bathroom, a bit like at your farmhouse.
Yeah.
And I remember running from the toilet to the bathroom naked one time, and an Italian officer, a guy from the army, was walking up the stairs and he turned around.
An Italian officer?
Yeah, and I was there in the fucking nuddy, and I went, oh! And he went, oh! And I went, oh! And he went, oh! And then I just like launched off and I was like dying. I couldn't look at him.
How old were you? I couldn't look at him. You were a teen.
I was a teen. I probably didn't have pubes. Oh. It wasn't great.
That's a bit.
But isn't that rogue?
Yeah. That's a different upbringing.
My mum had to survive, and my mum did everything to make sure that we had nice holidays. You know. Go on. What were you going to say?
How many lodgers a year would you have?
Oh, it would range
3.
No, it could be like 15 or something.
15?
Because some would stay for 2 weeks, some would stay for 6 months. And then
how did you get them? Airbnb?
So one was from like international school.
Like a platform.
International schools. So internationals would come over for a month or 2 weeks to improve their English. But then also what was great is we used to have all the people... You don't know what a pantomime is, which I find astonishing. I can't wait to take you to England over Christmas and take you to a pantomime. But for everyone who doesn't know what a pantomime is, it's like going to the theatre, but it's like Disney, but on...
Ice.
At the theatre. There's no ice at the theatre, and it's really good. It's interactive and stuff. And so people who used to go to the theatre, like half celebrities, would come and stay with us. So my mum would get us into the backstage, and I would get signatures. I used to have a big book of signatures.
So there were some perks.
Loads of perks, but it was absolutely rogue. But we've talked a lot about that. We need to move on. But we'll talk a bit more maybe next time about some other stuff that we did, because you haven't heard some of the stories, and I haven't heard some of the stories about you. So it's quite nice.
I can see you lighten up when I tell my stories. So maybe because we've still got I can still tell plenty
loads
more.
of stuff.
Yeah, and you got some more. So maybe we'll have part 2 next week.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to ask any specific questions, it's tandtt@gmail.com. Another thing that people thought would be quite good was talking about not only how we met, which we've already gone over, but dating nowadays, dating disasters, any dates we had that were fucking awful. And I've got so many that I couldn't even think of good ones because they're just so not in my mind anymore.
So many. I struggled. I've just got 2 short ones.
So shall I start then?
Yeah, please.
So one of mine was...
Let me hear 'em.
One of mine was, I went on Hinge and I'm really typical ADHD. Once I start talking to someone, I just talk and talk and talk and talk. And he definitely had some sort, it was on the spectrum. And we were talking for hours. And then he actually wasn't from Newcastle. He was like, I'm going back to, I can't remember where he lived. I'm going back to Nottingham or whatever. And I was like, all right, okay, cool, no worries. And then he was like, do you want to come for the weekend? So I was like, yeah. I'd never met him. Got on a flight. My mum was like, are you joking, Sydney? I was like, it's fine.
Like, this is handsome, was he?
Not particularly. Like, I'd sent the girls his address. I sent my mummy's address. Like, I'd sent the number, a picture of him, his fucking passport photo, like everything. It was like, it's fine.
Passport photo.
I was like, it's fine. And I got there and like, he was nice. He was nice enough. It wasn't for me. And we went out and whatnot and we were walking around the streets and he was like, my mum wants to meet you. And I was like, sorry? Anyway, you come around the corner. I went to go and pick his car up from the night before. We'd been for a drink and then like we drove in and got a taxi home. And his mum's hanging out the window. Hi, guys! And I was like, oh, God. And he was like, do you want to go in? My grandma's in there as well. And I was like, absolutely not.
Whoa, this went from intense to real intense.
I was like, this is the first time I've ever met you. I don't want to go in and meet your grandma. This is absolutely rogue. Anyway, I was there for 2 days. Anyway, we had a good time and whatnot. And then when I got home, I didn't go in and see the grandma. I said, absolutely not, that's a bit much. So I was having a full conversation with his mum, like fucking Romeo and Juliet. She's screaming from the balcony. We're down the bottom. And I was like, this is so bizarre. And then when I got back, he messaged me. He rang me and he's like, look, I've just, I struggle a little bit with, like, me and my friends were just so nice to each other. And you're quite, you know, you're a bit, sometimes you're a bit mean. You're a bit mean with your messages. Oh. And I was like, I'm bullying you. That's flirting in England. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I can't go out with you.
You do have that type of crack.
Yeah. I was like, it's a bit of lad crack.
That's what I love about you. That's what I love about you lot, is that I love that about you. He saw that as a negative.
Yeah, I was like, you've got to take the piss out of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be able to take the piss out of yourself and the other person. The other person's got to be able to handle it. That is the foundation of a crux of a good relationship.
I just thought this cannot work if you don't even, you know, you can't even take the mick out of yourself. I just thought, oh, what a wet lettuce. You're not for me, hun. Off you go. On to the next.
Wet lettuce.
Come on, give us one of yours.
Well, mine's a bit shorter than that, but went on a date with this girl. And obviously, my bit's just the funny bit, the after. And
what do you mean the after?
And so we obviously had a lovely dinner and whatnot. And you know when you go on a date, you go, oh, this has got tangential potential. Like sometimes you go on a date and you go, nah.
Yeah,
this is going to end at dinner, and we're parting ways. We hit the T intersection. You're going left. I'm going right. Anyway, but so it was still open. It was still open at this point. So anyway, obviously the night went well. We ended up at home just to stay the night together, had a cuddle. And I was actually sat randomly at my auntie's for some reason. I don't know why I was there. But anyway, there was a weird setup with the beds. All the rooms were taken. So our bed, was in the living room.
No.
And it was a sort of a large king-size bed. So it was, and the living room had a U-shaped couch. So the U-shaped couch wrapped around the bed.
Yes.
TV off to one side. And so we've obviously
TV off.
we've woken up.
Just for visuals. TV off to one side.
And obviously I got a little bit confused as to whether she actually left during the middle of the night or not, or what. So anyway, I wake up in the bed and I'm like, oh, you're brilliant. She's she's
gone.
She's gone. Like
you're like brilliant. She's gone.
Brilliant. Well, because also you'd still be into someone because you're just nervous and you just want had a successful night. Can text, talk, organise catch up number 2, and I'm rolling around and just like, and it's also free bed. You can sprawl out, and I'm a bit gassy, as you know.
Oh no!
And so I've just ripped
a
massive fart, followed by another one. Big pumps. And then it's obviously dead silent, and I just hear this little rustle, and I'm like, my eyeballs just open, and I staring at the ceiling, and I'm like, don't you dare fucking tell me she's just down on the couch, because the couch was lower than the bed. And then I heard more of a rustle, so I just instantly closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep, and she just got up. She was there. I was like, she is there.
Oh no!
My ass was facing her way. Would have been half a metre from her head. I've let a big burly vibrator.
Oh, babe.
And so she's got up.
Eyes watering.
And she's probably got pink eye. She's stumbling around because she's gassed, like she's just been hit with a gas bomb. She's obviously decided to just sneak out, hasn't she?
No.
And I didn't know if she was going to say goodbye or not goodbye. No. And then I just sat there for the 30 seconds till she snuck off down the It's pretty lit in the room by this time. It's morning, and not one word was said, and off she went.
Did you never speak again?
Never spoke to her again.
You're joking.
Never spoke to her again.
You woke her up like an alarm.
I couldn't bring myself to. What could I possibly text this woman?
That's so embarrassing. You dirty boy. Dirty. Oh. So, everyone was asking me about the Dubai man, but I'll talk about the Dubai man next time because we haven't got enough time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I asked you lot. Thank you so much for sending me some of these because they're absolute rippers. But please send me some of your dating dilemmas, whether that's fun stuff, daft stuff, really weird or obscure stuff. Anyway, Hannah sent one in saying, so I dated a guy in his 20s who, bless him, had to spray his hairline on. And he had dark hair, so it was anything but subtle. The first time we had a bit of rough and tumble on the bed, white bedding, I realised it did in fact transfer onto my pillowcase. He thought I'd not realised. I didn't draw attention to it. Then he flipped the pillow over when I left the room. Anyway, the first time he stayed over, he put a black t-shirt over his pillow and said, just in case he got a cold during the night. She just said, I'm crying remembering this. He was the kind of guy that would pull you up on not having French tip pedicure and accepted no attention. To his hairline.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
That's unreal. So the second time he's laid down for caution.
He's flipped it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I think that people who are going bald should just shave it off. We know.
Well, on the flip side, I've had some experiences where I reckon the girl before going on the date has just jumped in a tub full of tan, just hot dipped herself, and then go, oh yeah, here's your beautiful white sheets. I'll jump in those with you. And you wake up in the morning and fucked, and not one. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Really?
Or not one. Again, drawing. Yeah, I've had that just a couple of times.
Yeah, you've only shagged.
Yeah.
Twice,
and so the same sort of thing, but
awful. Not good.
Have you ever put fake tan on in there?
Never done fake tan in my whole life.
You don't need to.
No.
You're Brazilian.
I've got a Nigerian in there. I've got a nice tan.
You're Nige.
I have another one from Jess, but it's a bit long, so I'm gonna, because she's got 2 dates, Jess. And I'm gonna do hers next week.
Okay.
So Lily put in, funny dating story. Oh my God, I'm on my second date with this guy. Seems very well educated. He's a doctor, polite, etc. We'd not even kissed by this point, and this will add to the story later. We have dinner, and he says, "Oh, my sister's having a barbecue party at his family's house, so I said, should we go back there?" Anyway, went back, and it was a full-on mansion. Anyway, everyone's hanging out, all good. Everyone seems really nice. And later he shows me to the toilet. So I'm topping up my makeup. He's pouring us a drink in this other room. So we chill in this room for literally 2 minutes, catching up about the party, everyone who's there, etc. It's all chilled, not even flirty. And then he puts on some music, which I thought was a bit weird considering the party's literally next door, and it was Magic Mike. Next thing, he starts doing a full striptease, dancing, gets fully naked. And I'm just sat on the sofa like, what the actual hell is happening to me right now?
WTF?
Yeah, safe to say I made my excuses and left. They hadn't even kissed. And he's fully stripped down naked with his sister next door doing the fucking heli with his dick. And he's also Magic Mike.
So Lily thought she was dating a prude at this point. Like, it was all good. Like, didn't kiss or anything like that. And then he's just gone into full stripper mode. That's weird.
That is weird.
That's weird as. I thought Sora was going real cool. Like, unreal parents, wealth.
No.
Unreal mansion. But you knew something weird was going to happen. That's
God.
That's a good one.
And then to end, Lisa said, dodgy date, went to my BF for Valentine's Day. He wrote the other person he was seeing on the card, crossed it out and wrote my name.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He crossed it out and wrote my name. Later found out he was seeing someone else.
What a wanker. That is...
What the hell? Who does that?
That is... How can you fuck that up?
Why
would you do that? What is he, 10?
And also, why wouldn't you just go buy him the card?
So did you just say you guys are pricks? Did you just chuck us all in the basket of that douche?
Well,
Come on, sweetheart.
Rotten. Rotten.com.
Well, thank you, everyone, for sending those in. That was good.
They were so good. I've got several more. Can you please send me some more in? Because I just love reading these.
We love this shit, listeners.
And I don't read them.
We feed off it.
I don't read them to him, and I'll not read them to him until now, which is even better to get his reaction.
Yeah.
So we were going to talk about comparing others, like yourself, to others and dating these days and stuff, but I think we probably ran out of time this week because we had loads to chat about because we didn't do one last week. So we'll maybe add some of this in next week, which will be good.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to finish off talking about this book that I read. I know I'm itching. I've got mosquito bites. I'm really badly itching.
Scratching yourself.
He's staring at me.
Oh
so I read The Silent Patient. It was recommended by several of you on Instagram. Thank you so much. It was absolutely fantastic. But there was a really nice quote that I liked in it. And it said, about love, about how we often mistake love for fireworks, for drama and dysfunction. But real love is very quiet, very still. It's boring if seen from the perspective of high drama. Love is deep and calm and constant. And I thought that was quite nice because it resonated.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
Because I feel like often when I was in my 20s, I would date people and I would like the highs and lows and the chasing. And now I've found that actually love with someone, it should be very constant and it shouldn't be real highs and lows. And having really big arguments and then making up is not healthy or normal. And I just thought that's really nice because I feel like I've got that now with you.
Oh,
That's
beautiful, babe.
And I just thought it resonated, so I thought that I would bring that up. And anyone who hasn't read The Silent Patient, please read it. And you don't read, but I really want you to just try the first chapter and see what you think of it.
She's been begging me the last 5 days to read the first fucking chapter of this book, and I'm like, sweet, I've been begging you for the whole fucking trip to come out surfing with me. Oh, that's different.
It is.
Now, let's not get into that.
I'll get an
my
injury.
Sweetheart.
You told me.
I'll pay you to come out surfing with me.
You told me that I don't have very good. I'm clumsy. So why you want me to get on a surfing board and injure myself when I don't have to?
Why do you want me to get on a surfing board? Surfing board?
Surfboard. Surfing board? What a dickhead.
You're such a...
So you went surfing and you loved it, and you're going to do
Yeah,
it in Lombok?
finally went surfing. And the surf, we're off to Lombok soon, and the surfing in Lombok is unreal, apparently. Even better than Uluwatu. And Uluwatu is sort of the best spot in Bali as well.
Yeah.
But then the islands of Bali are even better again. And I finally got out. Finally got my roll on. Went for my second surf today with my little man, Wayan. Got myself a little local Indonesian, what do you call him? Instructor. Surf instructor, and he's taking me out. It was unreal. So fun. So fun.
You liked it, and you got a picture with the board. We've got some
got a
pictures.
picture
We'll get
with the
them. We'll
board.
put some pictures up. But
Not
well
those
done.
ones. We're going to work on them. We're going to wait till the waves get bigger and we get the shot.
Yeah, you looked great as well.
Thanks, babe.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, babe.
Oh, and do the T and TT at gmail.com.
We'll pop it up there.
Can I just say one thing as well? I wanted to do a handshake with you. I met a woman the other week. She was putting petrol in for us.
She's that petrol lady.
She said, hey, what's your name? She said this every time I've gone. And she puts her hand out to shake me like a limp fish. And it was all wet. and I grabbed it, and hers was just so limp it gave me the ick. And now every time we pretend to shake hands, we just slap our hands
literally
together.
just put our hands beside one another. It's just two hands beside each other, limp as limp, and you just start wobbling them a bit. And that's our handshake.
Anyway, love you, sweets.
Love you, babe.
Bye.
Bye.